All right, here we go. All right, so it's a little bit after 12, so you know what that means. It's another great episode of Lunchtime Talk with Steve. Today we have with us Marie Huntley, and she does so much in the community. She's an activist, she's a preacher, she's an author. You name it, this lady done it. She's done it. All right, so we're gonna be back to talk with her in just a quick moment. So for right now, go ahead and share it with your friends, your family, your favorite groups. Let them know that Steve is on and that we have another great conversation going on today. All right. So go ahead and make it happen. I'll be right back with you guys in about 3, 4 minutes. All right, cool. Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. All right, we are back. And as I promised you, we have Marie Huntley here with us. Hey, Marie, how's it going?
Hey, Steve, how are you?
I'm doing awesomely awesome as always. Um, so go ahead and introduce yourself to our viewers, and then we're gonna jump into some conversation. All right.
All right. Well, y'all know me, Marie Huntley, aka Miss Peaches, community activist leader. I am a ordained minister. I also am a mother of four, grandmother of two. Um, youth is on my side, but I love doing what I do, and I want to take the opportunity in this world to try to create more opportunities for us to continue to move forward into things that are actually affecting us as black folks and black and brown folks, and those things that we can accomplish by working with one another. So I'm all about the collaboration in the movement.
All right, that's great. That's what I'm talking about. So let me ask you. Well, let's start with the book that you had. I believe you brought out a book last year, correct?
Correct. Nothing less than the truth. Pushback, not held back.
Go ahead and tell me a little bit about the inspiration for that book. What inspired you to? Well, how did the idea come into your head first, and what made you decide? Hmm, I could do this.
Well, I mean, I used to all people a lot of people don't know about me is I am a woman of God. I am a Christian and I follow after Christ um, wholeheartedly. And in doing the work in the community, um, I was led by um, a couple of people that I know who spoke to me in different church services, prophets that said that I need to, write the book. And I kept wondering, write the book. What book am I supposed to write? I'm not writing the book. And one specifically told me about my childhood and about my marriage. And I was
Mhm.
like, what? So I believe that um, God is always here, omnipotent, always knowing and always seeing. So I started that journey in writing that book. And it took me 2 years to put that book out because it was kind of hard for me to allow people to be into my intimate space, my life. It was
Hmm.
hard to tell my story because so much in the world, while I was dealing with different issues, I either was rejected, I either was judged, I either was told that I'm not worthy. I either was told that I need to, sit down and try it again. It was just a lot of pushback, and
Hmm.
I allowed that to um, allowed that to sink in, and started thinking that maybe I'm not um, the person who, I think that I am. Maybe I can't do it, but I was enlightened one night, and we in the wee hours to um, write this book. And that's in those wee hours of praying, I got that topic, nothing less than the truth. Meaning, I'm not going to give you anything less than the truth about me.
Hmm.
What everybody else has been giving you, I've been humble. I've allowed it to occur. I've allowed it to be said, but you need to hear from Marie about Marie. So I chose that topic, nothing less than the truth. Let me give you Marie, and then push back, not held back, because I was pushed back by opposition, by rejection, by people giving their own judgment of me, but I wasn't held back.
Right, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. And that's something that I always tell people. I'm like, if you want to know, ask me. My life is an open book. I mean, if somebody come and tell you something about Steve, ask Steve.
Right,
I'm going to tell you the truth. I mean, if it's something that you want to know, and somebody else is talking about it, I might as well tell you the truth about it, because it doesn't make sense. People walking around hearing the wrong thing and like, oh my God, I didn't know that. If you don't hear from me, don't believe it. So
right,
I like that. I like that. And the push back, not held back. I mean, it's like when if you're running a race or something. I mean, the wind is against you, it's pushing you, but it's not holding you back. You get into that finish line and you're getting there first, and that's the thing.
right,
We as a people have to start to realize that just because we're in a situation doesn't mean that that's where God wants us to be. You
right.
know, I mean, so it's like, wow, that's what I'm talking about. I like that. That's very inspirational. I definitely like it. It looks like you have a fan here, Stephen Jones.
Hey,
Is that
Steve.
let's talk about some of and that leads into some of the community work that you're doing, and that you have done. I mean, you do a lot out there in the community that people aren't really aware of, because I mean, you're not one to toot your own horn. So this is the time to toot your horn. Let's hear some of this stuff. Let's go ahead and give you some of the props that you deserve, because I mean, like I said, a lot of times when you do stuff out there, nobody hears about it and no one knows, that you organized this or you did that. So let's
Right.
talk about some of those things.
Well, in my thing for being out into the community is because I grew up in poverty. I grew up, food stamps. I grew up that woman, that single parent that had to raise those children. Um, was in a marriage, very bad marriage, and divorced, and had to figure out how to live, how to adapt to everything that was changing, the challenges. And
Mhm.
I saw that. Although my book tells you about a story about my family and about how, me not getting along with my mom at a young age and the trials and tribulations we went through. I saw what she had to deal with. I saw how she handled certain situations so that she can keep it quiet to us. And I realized that, mom was going through something too. So mom always instilled in me. She always told me, Marie, you got the spirit of excellence, because you choose to see the greatness in people regardless. You choose to see people for who they are, not
Mhm.
judge them where they are. So to be in the community, I never needed to toot my horn, because when Jesus was walking this earth, he didn't toot his horn. He just did what he was supposed to do according to what the assignment that he had. So
Right.
my thing was to just give back to the community, to make people aware that there are resources, there are things that we can get our hands on, that we can benefit from. There's ways that we can bring our community back into some type of togetherness without harming one another. without, because the time for blacks uh, um, beating down on each other and talking about one another and pulling at each other's curtail, telling each other that they're not going to make it. That's over. That time should be done, and that's over. We've all suffered from some type of impoverishedness in our lives, some type of not having one parent or the other in our lives, and we need to build from that because we have youth that we have to raise. So my giving back was all about making sure that people stay aware. We got children to raise, and because our parents didn't really teach us history, they didn't break it down like how it's being broken down now. And school
Right.
only gave us bits and pieces of Black history. It didn't give us the real story. So what I decided to do was get out there and start giving the real story. This is what's going on. This is what we need to do. We can talk about each other. We can be mad with each other. We can even fight and fuss with each other. But how do we come back from that to work together? So that's
Exactly.
my only reason for being in the community. I wanted to provide those resources. I wanted to do events to bring awareness and education to what's happening in our communities and where we are at and where we need to be. So it was always all about, forget tooting my horn. You didn't even never even have to call my name, because my name is just a name is that's in the air. The
Hmm.
work that I do is what counts, and I hold myself accountable to my community. I grew up there. I saw all the stuff from the shootings, the drugs, prostitution. So I held myself accountable for giving back to that community, trying to at least get to at least one, two, three, four people as I can, and bring them on board with me so that we can start creating the change, making the change we want to see, being the change we want to see. And that's what it was always about when it came to the community. You ain't got to pat me on the back. This is my
Where,
community.
where did you grow up? What area was it that you grew up in?
I grew up all over the place, but started out in Sixth Trunk on 4th Street across the tracks where Flagler Village is right now before it was gentrified, and then moved
Mhm.
back across the tracks. So over there in the Sixth Trunk area by Sunland Park, my entire family has roots over there. We moved around a whole lot from Lauderhill to Lawdale Lakes, but that was originally our stomping ground.
Mhm. All right, and that's but see, but the thing is too, because like a couple weeks ago, well, a couple months ago, this was before the pandemic. I was speaking to Dr. Delaveau, to Reverend Delaveau's wife, and that's one of the things we were talking about. We have so many resources in our community, but we don't really know the people that are doing them, and we don't know how to get these things going. And I mean, we see things like the Urban League, and we see all these organizations, but a lot of what we do starts with the grassroots.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with the Marie Huntleys of Broward County, and not just of Broward. I'm talking about all over the world. You have the Marie Huntleys that are doing things and nobody knows about it, but we definitely have to do it because one of the things that I always tell people too is don't wait till I die to tell me the things that I did. So therefore, on my show, I don't like to wait till someone die or whatever, and then say, oh, she was so great, she did this, she did that. Let's talk about it right now. Let's give the props. And I understand what you're saying because that's how I am. I mean, there's a lot that I do that I don't really tell people, but you know what?
Right.
Sometimes we got to let people know that we are doing great things. It's not just Martin Luther King and Shirley Chisholm and all those people. You have people right now that are doing great things for the community. You got people out there that are feeding the hungry and the homeless. I mean, you got people that if they don't feed them,
They don't
these
eat.
people aren't going to eat.
Right.
I mean, seriously, that's a big thing. I mean, someone's depending on you for their food. So
Yep.
I mean, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're doing great. Gary sent a message saying, "What's up, Peaches? Tell Yada." I said hello. I'm not sure who Yada is,
That's
but
my sister. That's my big sister.
okay. See, Gary know everybody, boy. That's G Mac right there. He knows everybody. I tell you.
Hey, Gary.
Oral says, you ever thought of running for office, commissioner, etc.? And
I
then,
actually, I actually ran for office, and I wrote about it in my book as well. It was I ran for District 3, the district that I actually grew up in, City
Mhm.
Commission. I was running against the who's in the seat now, which he was an incumbent. Was the incumbent when I was running against him, and
Mhm.
I have to say I learned a lot from running that particular race.
Mhm. Trust me, I know. And politics is it's a strange game, and people don't know how it goes.
Especially when you're not a politic and you're just progressive, because
Hmm.
you want to get out there and you want to make sure the community has, what it needs. The people aren't ignored. They're already at a disadvantage. So how do you sit in a seat of power to push the community that we already know is at a disadvantage to another level? How do you revitalize that community without gentrifying it so much that you push those folks who have roots there out? Those are
Hmm.
things that we need to be conversating about, because we have to realize that sitting in that seat of power you're not, that's not power, that's human,
Hmm.
that's people power. That's not God power. That's not where you're really supposed to be at. When we think we got the big head, and because we're in power now, we're not doing nothing over there, but we're gonna do something over there. The people are the purpose for the seat. And when I don't feel like I lost the seat, I feel like I won the office. The seat
Hmm.
was just something that I would have sat in, but the office is always going to be the community.
And
Always.
that's what a lot of people don't realize. When you run a race, it's not that you lost the race. I think you gain a lot in experience and knowledge. You gain so much when you don't win the race. And sometimes I feel like you win more, like you gain more by not winning than you do by winning. Because what a lot of people don't realize is winning a seat actually limits a lot of what you can do
That's
when
right.
you're a government employee or whatever. There's a lot that you can't do, but then as a community activist, there's a lot you can. You just mentioned Sistrunk and the gentrification project on Sistrunk. And I mean, right now, people don't realize it. And if you guys haven't been down Sistrunk in a while, drive down there, you're going to see that project. I mean, they are not playing. They're making money on Sistrunk. They're spending money on Sistrunk, but it's not going in our pockets.
That's right.
You know,
Not going,
I
not going
mean,
in our pockets at all.
you look at all the businesses that like Bass Brothers that got closed. The office building across the street from Bass on the south side of Sistrunk. They just redid that whole area. You know,
That used to be the Six Trump Pharmacy.
right, exactly. And if people, and the thing that I told people years ago this was going to happen. As soon as I saw Jimmy John's moved in, I'm like, they putting the Jimmy John's in the hood. That's because Jimmy John's already see how this is going,
Yeah,
and they're getting there first, and now we're starting to see so many other things happening, and I'm telling you, it's Sistrunk is going to become one of those areas, just like in New York or anywhere else like Harlem, where in Harlem, I mean, people didn't want to walk through Harlem. Then all of a sudden they cleaned it up. Bill Clinton moved in, and now same place that was renting for $20 because it was Section 8, now it's going for like $5,000, $6,000.
oh
You
yeah.
know, like, Debbie Banner, Officer Banner, how you doing? How's it going? She's a retired police officer from Lauderhill. You know, do you hear a cracking noise, or is that just a
I hear it.
All right, hold on just a second. I'm gonna run a quick commercial, and then I'm gonna come back. All right, I'm gonna see if I can restart the audio on this. I'll be
Okay.
right back with you. Let's see.
Baby, won't you take me there? I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving.
Well, I know I got what you want. I know you like that diamond shrimp. My son fish and them geechee grits. My granddaddy make you have a fit.
Right on.
I try to give you all of my best. I do it straight from the heart. Cook it straight from the soul. Now. Straight from the soul.
Come on down and shake it and jive and Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuck It.
All right, there we are. Now we're back, and the cracking noise is gone. Okay, perfect. Uh-oh. I think it just came back. I'm not sure if it's my earbud. All right, let's do another one. We'll be right back again. Hey, you know how we do technical difficulties? We can do those. We're good with this. 1 second. Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. Oh. Yep, it's still cracking. I don't know why. I don't know if it's my I don't think it's like a typing noise or something. I don't know. Anyhow, we could go through it. We could work through it. But yeah. So one of the things that I was talking about was I wanted to mention too was going back to the campaign, right? The seat that you were running, what era was the seat?
Say that one more time.
The seat that you were running for, what area was that?
That was in District 3 in Fort Lauderdale, 6 Trunk area.
All right. So now the thing is, did you find that you were getting the backing of the community, time for like volunteers and voting and all that stuff?
Well, yeah. I mean, a portion. You always get one side of the community, and then there's another side of the community. You have those young folks, and then you have traditional folks. So traditional folks, which are our seniors, and they are our wisdom. And trust me, I don't even call them seniors. I call them wisdom because they're the first ones to teach us the difference between right and wrong. They are grandparents. They are, some of them are our ancestors now. So, I got a lot of pushback from that because they want to stay stuck in their ways for what was going on then. So on that journey, that's why I wrote a poem called Incarcerated Mind, because an incarcerated mind doesn't move forward. An incarcerated mind stays stuck in the past. It's that old saying, if you still doing the same thing you was doing 20 years ago today, then you have an incarcerated mind. And you need to move past that. That's why from generation to generation, they get much more wiser. They may get more wickeder, but they get more wiser because there's a need for more creative ideas as we continue to build on these generations. And as we continue to build on these generations, there's a need to make sure that we're teaching history. We're making sure that they're walking into the right into the right avenues, and down the right path, understanding who they are and understanding what they're fighting for and why they're fighting for it. So if we keep those values that were stuck back then when our own ancestors, our own parents, like from my past, didn't even tell us about the history, couldn't really help us out with schoolwork because they couldn't read or write, couldn't really point us in the right direction. So they pushed us in school, and teachers in school started teaching us instead of our parents being our first teachers, our first watchmen, and the first gatekeepers of our lives, teaching us which way to go. So when you got those traditional values that continue to stay set in, nothing changes, nothing moves.
And I think that's on my side that's doing that. Every time I talk, it's doing that. But hold on, okay, give me just a moment. I'm 1 second, one quick second.
Okay.
All right, let me see if bringing myself back in. Nope, still doing it. But I wonder sometimes, I mean, not wonder, because we already know that it was designed in such a way that parents wouldn't know what to teach us or the things that they should teach us. So then we had to be, and I hate to say programmed, but pretty much we were programmed by the schools to think a certain way and to act a certain way. There's a reason why we see the things that we see in society today, and that's because we were taught that way in school. You know, we weren't taught the good stuff. We weren't taught finances. We weren't taught, you know, the importance of voting. We weren't taught our history. We weren't taught any of these things. But then when we turn around and say that our kids don't know it, or we don't know it, or you know, it's because we weren't taught. I mean, and what's so crazy about it is, um, it's almost like the system is set up in such a way that it's like, okay, we don't want you to know these things. We're going to say that it's here, but we don't want you to know it. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know if I'm coming up right with it, but I feel like you know, now it's for us to start to tell the next generation and even the generation, our older generations, and even our peers. We need to start to educate them more about the way things are going, the programs that are out there. Again, let's look at the Sister Corridor. Sister Corridor, they had the meetings about the gentrification process that we're going to go through and the money that was available and all these things that were there. We didn't show up because we didn't. Well, first off, I mean, the meetings weren't held on Sister, they were held downtown. But the other thing is, even though it's right there, we're taught not to go to these meetings. We're taught not to go to these things. We're taught not to own property. We're taught to rent. I mean, so much that we're taught that we have to really reset our minds. I mean, Malcolm X used to talk about it all the time, and I'm actually trying to get his daughter on the show. But Malcolm X used to talk about it all the time, where he would talk about how our minds have been brainwashed, and we don't even realize it. You know, and really we are. You know, look at the average person that's out there. You look at these little buy here, pay here car police. It's us that's keeping them in business. And we're paying 3 times the amount of what the car is worth. You look at
And,
things like you look at things like, Go ahead.
and and the reason why we're keeping them in, the reason why a lot of things are functioning the way they're functioning, and that's why right now with the Black Lives Matters movement, it's you got to wake up, is because we weren't taught. We weren't taught how to distinguish the difference between what we should invest in and what we shouldn't invest in. I mean, just like you say, when if our parents aren't teaching us that from birth, they're not pushing us out there into birth, then what do? You eventually you'll learn to adapt to what you see around you, what you think is right, what you feel is right, and you start to buy into all that. Now, yeah, we got black and brown skin, but that don't necessarily mean as I was growing up as a child, I actually knew that, you know, racism was big, you know, because we were getting taught white history.
Right. Exactly.
And when you get taught a lot of white history, that's what you start to thinking. So when people started to open in their mouths, when we started to listening to Malcolm X, when we started listening to Martin Luther King and seeing what Rosa Parks did and Shirley Chisholm and all this, when somebody showed us how to go research that history, then we started learning on our own. Then we started getting it. Like, wait a minute, we got black inventors who invented most of the stuff that everybody using nowadays. You mean to tell me we created the first straightening iron? We created the first grease flying hair? Come on now. Products that are being used to infuse the whites, how they changed it around to make products for themselves. You get what I'm saying? So the traffic light, all that. We've never been, if we're not taught that history, and if we're not teaching it now to the generation that we're birthing, then we stay lost. We stay lost.
And that's the thing. We have to teach it to them. We have to let them know, because it's a sense of pride. We look at the movie Black Panther, and we look at the pride that came from that movie. But still, like I was saying before, yes, I mean, I'm not.
You cutting in and out real bad now.
Yeah, that I don't know why it's chipping.
I don't know. I can hear you. I know you. I heard you say something about Black Panther.
Let me see if I switch to the phone. If that will, hold on. I don't know why this is doing this. All right, let me do this. I'm going to run. Let me switch to this other computer. I'll run a quick commercial and I'll come back to you.
Okay.
1 second. All right.
No problem. Y'all stay with us. We just having a little technical difficulty, but y'all know how we do it. Y'all know how we do it. We keep running anyway.
Go away. We got to be right back to talk with Marie some more. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if it allows me to join it from the other one.
Okay.
All right, we're on the commercial. I'll be right back with you. Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate.
To be more tech savvy, create your own compelling graphics, sales pages, and marketing tools? Would you like to effectively use social media to generate more leads? If the answer is yes, register for one or all of the 8-module digital marketing series. You will feel comfortable in a judge-free, nurturing environment as we get the work done. My name is Melissa Jane, and I am your tech trainer.
If your car could talk, it would say call Curvin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Curvin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you.
You take me there. I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving.
Well, I know I got what you want. I know you like that diamond shrimp. My son, fish, and them geechee grits. My granddaddy make you have a fit. I try to give you all of my best. I do it straight from the heart. Cooking straight from the soul. Straight from the soul. Straight from the soul.
Ooh, that's what it is, what it is. That's where it's at, that's what it is. Come on down and shuck it and jive it. Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuck It.
All right, there we go. I think we're still picking up the thing from before. All right, so am I a little bit clearer now?
Still a little, but yeah, I can hear you more.
Why is the static coming in?
It might be the headset.
No, because I'm using the Yeti mic, but
Oh, okay. But you are clear now.
but I am clear. You're saying?
Yeah.
All right. That's really weird. I don't know why it's doing that.
It's all right. We gonna get through this.
1 second. Hold on. There we go. Can you hear me a little bit better now?
Uh-huh.
Still with the static though. I don't know why.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, a little bit good. And I switched to a totally different computer. That's the thing. Now I'm on the Mac before I was on the PC. But yeah. So what we were talking about, and I definitely got to get you to come back again because the static is really crazy. But I enjoy the conversation that we're having. Um, so what we really want to let me see what we were talking. Oh, we were talking about politics.
Right. We're talking
So
about Black Panther.
right, exactly. So one of the things that we saw was the pride that it instilled in our kids. But we have to really start talking about the people that are here today, and let them see that it's not just a movie, and
Right.
it's not just history. We want them to see the people that are here today that are making things happen for us today.
That's
We
right.
want them to see, our congressmen, our senators, our Alcee Hastings, our Perry Thurstons, Bobby Du Bois, Sharon Jones. We want them to see all these people, Anika Onfroy, all these people that are out there that are doing great things right now. So we
And we
want them
got some of
to
our young ones coming up too, like Jasmine Rogers,
exactly
Elijah Manley. I mean,
Easton Harrison,
right? Easton Harrison. These are
yeah,
our
we
I'm
got
looking
a
at them.
Yeah, we got a lot of them that are really coming up and doing great things. So we want our kids to see these things, and we
Right.
want them to know that they can be that person. They can move up too. So I mean so that's why in the beginning I was saying I want you to tell them about the things you're doing because I want them to see you and to see what you're doing, and then from there they can say, wow, okay, well, because like they used to say back in the days, kids wanted to be drug dealers because that's the only people you saw in the community.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't see the doctor, the lawyer, the politician. They weren't in the community. So
Right.
now we're showing them the people in the community that are doing great things, and let's make it happen with these people in the community.
Right. And even those when the, and it's hard because being a product of your environment
Hmm.
like kills off the character that's there for you. And
Hmm.
if I can explain that, we all have a certain trait characteristics and what we want to do, what we want to see, what we want to be. But we have this thing called environment that surrounds us. So every time we see something negative, we feel like it's the norm. And that's what kids are seeing right now. Drug dealing is not the norm, and the thing about it is a person who a drug dealer, they have the biggest influence. They can move mountains because they have a big influence. And the Bible declares that you train a child up in the way they should go. And when they depart, they won't depart from it. So whatever you teach your child now is something that they're going to carry with them in the future. So we got to start telling our children that, yes, Martin Luther King and all them, those are trailblazers. They're trailblazers, then you got those modern heroes, or might I say, grassroots mobilizers,
Hmm.
myself and other folks like um, curator um, um, George. You got people who are doing this right now that we need to be making sure that we announce, like Aaron Hollis of Kids Always First down in Dania Beach. These are people who are putting foot feet to the ground in effort to change the way their community looks for the youth. Mona Lisa Weber, probation station, trying to keep children out the system. You know, these are people who we wouldn't otherwise recognize, but they don't get out there. They don't put themselves out there so they can get the pats on the back. They just know the work needs to be done. And and when it comes to the millennials, when it comes to the youthfulness and being out there in these grassroots mobilizing organizations, they're not worried about you shouting their name. They're trying to get to the bottom of why we're still stuck in the same place? And what can we do to move? The conversation has been had for years. Right now, we just need to go ahead and put something together to solve the issue. And if we all can get on the same page, powerful.
But you know what? But the thing too is, I was about to say ran away, but it came back. But the thing too is one of the reasons why we want people to know the names, and one of the reasons why we want to partner, is because there are a lot of companies out there that are giving money to organizations that want to make a change, but they don't know you're there.
Yep.
You know, Children's Services Council, YMCA, Children's Trust, they're always giving money, but they don't know you're there to give you that money. So that's one of the reasons that we really want to start, letting people know what we're doing, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of money out there, and they give to organizations, and I'll be honest, I'll say it, they give to organizations that really don't care, and organizations that don't do anything. But
Yep.
the people that are doing something,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't, because they don't know your name, they can't give. So that's why we got to get out there and let them know our names, because I'm tired of seeing organizations getting $2 million, $1 million, $500,000, and then they don't do anything for our kids.
Right. And Children's Services Council was one of my biggest sponsors of my You Matter Youth Rally. And they from day one, they always supported YMCA as well.
Right.
But one of my things was, when it comes to small organizations that, such as mine, who was a grassroots organization, like, I know the root cause of what's going on. So when these big time organizations are putting their money out there, let's not just throw money out there in the communities, because most of the stuff is free, or you're trying to get the people there. And what I've seen a lot of is people are coming, but they're not getting the resources because y'all tack the word free on. And that's something I want to say about organizations when it comes versus Black folks. We're not, Black folks aren't dogs. We want to get all that we need to assist us, but you don't necessarily have to throw the word free out there to get them there. You just got to put the right people in the right place. Those who actually know the community, those who actually can have the trust of the community. Because as a big time organization, most of the people in the organization probably don't even look like the people that live in the community. But then you got some that work there that do. But then you got some that work there that look like the community that don't know the community. So you'll find people like myself who partner with some of these YMCA and Children's Services Council for the community that I was in, and started bringing in the resources. But we knew how to do it collaboratively, without offending or without wasting money. We were able to get crowds and crowds of people who benefited from what we were pushing out up under the leadership, with my organization, under the leadership of Children's Services Council and the YMCA, which they helped me in building my capacity for my nonprofit. So and I know, and I understand the trust is not always there either, but we got to start somewhere, because once the money starts pouring in, you can always wean yourself off,
right,
to do something bigger and better, which is what I did. I started to move towards on-call leadership, standing on its own, being one and the same, needing to put the funds directly into us, because I have all the programming, I have the projects for the kids. I know how to reach them. I know what works. So we have to, you're right, we have to start. In most organizations that are giving away money like that, they want to see you collaborating. You need to be collaborating. You need to show that you are on the same page. And maybe your vision is a little bit different, but that doesn't necessarily mean it can't connect with what's already there. So yeah, I understand that to a certain extent as well.
Well, I think what we need to do, oh gosh, just crackling is way too much. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna have to get you back on the show again. Are you available on Friday?
Friday, lunchtime. Let's see. Hopefully I can be on, but yeah, hopefully I can be on by there. I have an appointment, and then at 10 o'clock. So
let's reschedule. Let's do this again on Friday because I really like this conversation. I love this conversation, and this cracking noise is going crazy in my ear.
Is it always at 12 or?
Yeah, at 12. Mhm.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna definitely talk again on Friday. All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks very much. I appreciate
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
it. All right. Guys, I don't know why. See, the Kraken is gone. I don't know why the Kraken was going on, but we are definitely gonna have Marie back on Friday with us because I mean this was great conversation. I enjoyed the conversation. These are some of the things that we need to be doing in our community, and I really want to talk to her about some of the services and the things that we are doing in the community. So let's go ahead and tune in on Friday, and we'll be chatting with Marie then. But tomorrow we have, who do we have coming up tomorrow? I don't have the schedule in front of me, but definitely tune in tomorrow. We have another great guest, and we will, we'll chat with them and see what's how things are going. Um, but for right now, definitely, if you guys need any kind of services, check out the website lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com. You can go there and you can click on the Get Help section. You can see things like 211 that would help you with your light and your rent. You would see things like Feeding America, so you can find a food bank near you. There's so many different services that are available out there. Okay, put aside the pride and just go out there and get the services that you need. All right. So again, I want you guys to go out there and do a random act of kindness for a stranger because tomorrow you may be that stranger that need that random act of kindness. You see a homeless guy on the street, go over to Walgreens or one of them. Get them. Walgreens has the Arizona iced teas, 2 for $1. Pick up, $2, 4 of them, and just give them to some of the guys you see on the streets. You know what's another crazy thing too? The other day I was over on 31st and Sunrise Boulevard, and there was a guy selling water and sodas and stuff like that. I mean, we were driving, going. I was going somewhere. I was running a little bit late, and I didn't catch the light. But from now on, what I'm going to end up doing is buying the drinks from him that I'm going to give to the homeless. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's do this. All right. We really need to be doing good stuff out there in the community. God didn't bless you just so that you can show it off. He blessed you so you can be a blessing to somebody else. All right. So let's make this happen. So again, take care of yourself. Take care of each other and do a random act of kindness for a stranger. All right. All right, guys. Peace. You know how we do. Please visit lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com if you would like to be a guest or advertise on the show. If you're interested in any of the products or services you saw on the show today, or if you would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com.